Hey everybody, and welcome along this week's edition of the Irish Golfer Podcast. Peter Finnan here and joined by John Craven.
Good to be back, Pete.
Good to be back. And Ronan McNamara.
How are we?
All good, all good. I don't know where to start this week. It's like going to a wedding and a funeral in the same podcast. It's not. Yeah, let's start with the good news.
We're sponsored by someone.
No. We got a W. Let's start with the good news. Leona Maguire.
What a woman.
What a woman is right.
Unbelievable. The way she won that. It was such a annoying. I have to complain to my dodgy box provider because CBS or whatever it was, I couldn't get it to work. But yeah, it was so frustrating not to be able to watch it. She was just on an absolute tear, playing last 6 holes, 600. Like if ever someone has gone out and actually just won a tournament and demolished everyone in their path, that was it.
I'd be afraid of her when she's in that humour. On the back nine, she just she saved literally the lowest 9 hole of any player in the field all week until Sunday back nine. That's just how you get shit done.
Mad. Played the last 600, 18 shots for 6 holes. That's nuts. You wouldn't do that in a par 3 course.
No, it's great. And then, we spoke about it last week. I know you weren't here, and you've some.
I'd like to apologise.
You want to take umbrage with some things.
Just the lack of spice last week. My God, people would have been put to sleep. And the thing, you're all tapping yourselves in the back for how calm it was. Wasn't that a lovely little chat that we had? Listen, come on, we're here for opinions.
No, but we did highlight how good Leona has been in the mire the last few years. But yeah, what she's done, her final round stats are just off the charts. I was looking at 2021 final round 66 to finish second, 2022 final round 65 to finish second, and then 2023 obviously goes one better. Shoots 64 to win. These stats are unbelievably, off the charts.
Big time. She clearly loves that place. To be runner-up 2 years in a row. It's a birdie fest, and I'm surprised that she said, she actually loves that about the place. She loves just knowing that you have to go low, knowing that you have to be aggressive. Some of the fairway wood she hit on the way in, a couple of wedges that she stitched to literal top-in distances. Everything was just on, which bodes very well, obviously, for a major week like this. But I'd say it'll be interesting to hear from her. It's been it's felt like a long time anyway. It hasn't actually been that long since you won. February. When was that? Last year?
Yeah. It feels like years ago.
Yeah,
but it's not
when was it? Pre-COVID?
Literally last season. So that's 2 seasons in a row now. Win-win. So,
but just that whole getting the first one feels a lot easier than the second or whatever. I'd imagine that was great, and on her, I'd be interested to hear what she has to say in it. But to win too, it puts her in a different kind of stratosphere and
different mindset as well, isn't it? When you're your second win, like you said, we were talking off air. Your second record is the hardest one to make if you have a good first one.
Yeah,
it's just the sky really is the limit for this girl.
100%.
It's and she is destined in her eyes and in many, in our eyes, she's destined to be a world number one. She is that good. Looking through her stats, it is frightening. She needed 110 putts for the week. She needs to go and spend a weekend with Rory down in Florida or something.
Stop. Yeah, bin Faxon, take Leona on board.
Take Leona down. Yeah, exactly. And and she's been going up to Harrington's gaff getting tips on him short game wise. And then did you read that before? Or did you hear her talking about that before?
I saw it on the press conference last night, but yeah.
Oh, did she talk about that? So she was going up getting chipping lessons off Harrington, and Harrington, being Harrington, said, right, you get nothing for nothing in this world. So asked her when, you're done now, you've got all you need. Okay, right, I want to watch you putt for 10 minutes. What's going through your head? What are you doing? And he just watched her putt, just seeing what she's doing, trying to work out whatever, asked her questions. So it turned into a 2-way debate over and back. Can you imagine being in that garden, watching them pair go at it like that?
The unbelievable.
And what the conversation would be, and what just nuggets of absolute wisdom dropping everywhere.
The Paddy tips videos on YouTube, surely the channel should have been getting a boost with that content. That would have been unreal.
It would have been class. No, but 110 putts for the week, compared to closest to her, I'm not even going to try and pronounce the name, but I got it, Janet was in number 3. Janet Lynn Zixu I can't pronounce half these names.
You're not good in the Asian names, but
no. So yeah, she was the closest to her. But like stats wise, like she's walked all over the field stats wise in the last round. It's just phenomenal. Anyway, I don't know where we go with.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find Aria's world ranking there, because yeah, like it was a decent field this week. Like, yeah, I don't know. Like, the stats are unbelievable. I think she shot like 17 out of 18 greens in reg. Just a absolute robot. Like, she is a killer. Like that. When you think like the Solheim Cup and the emotion she showed and stuff, like she shows you absolutely nothing in a regular event. It must be pretty demoralising playing against her. Gives nothing away. And yeah, like, God, when she won her first one, I was like, she's going to win 20 LPGA Tour events. I'm not even going to soften that take. I'm going to keep it going. Like, she has like, potential to just reel off a few.
Yeah, because she's setting records now. Like, that's what you're saying. Like, she is setting records with these wins. Like, 64 ties the lowest round of a winner on the LPGA this season as well. You know, that's her 15th bogey-free round since the beginning of last season as well. Like, she really is just... She's settling in so well into... Like, it's hard to... She's only 2.5 years out there in the LPGA. Like, so what she's done across the seasons is just spectacularly good, so...
And she's done it in majors as well. Like, I know she hasn't really contended to win one yet, but, like, she's consistently, like, racking off top tens and stuff. I'd imagine, like, the longer golf courses, the firmer golf courses don't exactly play to her strengths when she's hitting fairway woods into greens, where some of the girls are hitting short irons. But it does feel like that's the natural next step now. Like, Jesus, it's a big ask to back up a win with another win. Like, she's in Baltusrol this week. She was there last Monday before last week just to check out the place. Said it was a beastly golf course. Dermot Byrne caddied there with Shane and stuff. So, like, she'll have a lot of course knowledge and stuff like that. I don't know how it sets up for her or whatever. But yeah, I like winning back-to-back be tough going. KPMG obviously her sponsors as well, so she'll be extra motivated. But I don't think she'll be particularly tired. I think she'll be all
because you're
blazing,
in the States, you don't have to come home and do like there's no open top BMWs this time or anything like that.
No,
Sleeve Russell or wherever. So no, I tell you what, I caught up with her earlier on today. So yeah, let's hear from Leona anyway on what she thought of it and what she's looking forward to most about entering a major week as a champion this week. So here we go. Leona, what a win.
Yeah, obviously delighted to get my second one under my belt. Felt like the game was in good shape for a few weeks leading up to it. So nice to finish off in style yesterday, especially on that back nine. I think there was a lot of back and forth on that leaderboard. So nice to get out in front and hold off for the win.
How are you feeling now after that? Like, have you taken stock? I know, like, you've all these media obligations afterwards since last night. Has there been a moment of reflection that you've got to have just by yourself on what just happened?
Yeah, it's all been a bit of a blur, I suppose. Yeah, it all happens quite quickly. Like, we finished and did the whole prize giving and all the media stuff, signed all the things. Dermot was there with me, and then he headed for Chicago. I headed to the airport, and I haven't seen him yet this morning. So it's kind of all systems go with the fact that it's leading into a major this week. So we'll try and sort of rest and recover and go again as quickly as we can this week. And we have a week off next week, so maybe sort of next week we'll have a little bit more time to sort of reflect. But obviously got to ring home and everything last night, which was nice, and just talked to mom and dad and Granny and Lisa Noran and all the rest at home. So I think they were delighted as well, and a nice bonus for Dad on Father's Day yesterday too.
Yeah, exactly, definitely. And Cavan not having the best of results yesterday as well.
Yeah, I mean, I got the blow by blow of that as well. that was part and parcel of the phone call home as well.
Some players describe the second win as obviously harder to get than the first. You're trying to prove, not that first one was a fluke or anything like that, but can you relate to that now that you've done that for a second time and won at this level?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I felt any extra pressure. I think once you get that first win under your belt, it's not like you have to win again. It's that you want to win, and it was just a case of being patient, I think, and knowing that my game was in good enough shape to win again. And I suppose it was nice going back to a familiar venue. It's Myers, a tournament that I've done well at for the last 2 years before. And I know there was a lot of people going, oh, you're due one, that golf course owes you something and all the rest. But I suppose golf doesn't really work like that. So, yeah, it was nice to put 4 really solid rounds together under 70 and felt like my game all sort of came together on Sunday, which was really nice.
To put 4 rounds together is spectacular in the way you did, but to finish a tournament the way you did, to go out, those last 6 holes were very, very special. Like, you went out and you won that tournament, you took that tournament and grabbed it. Was there something that clicked into gear for you on the back nine, or were you just things just happened to flow and you get into a flow yourself? Or
yeah, I mean, I think it's that kind of golf course. I mean, Dermot kept saying that all week. You're playing great. You're playing great. Just stay patient. We'll get our chance. We'll get our chance. And I think that putt going in on 13 was obviously key. And then to get the eagle on 14 was a big bonus there. I'd played 14 well all week. So I think when I lost to Nelly 2 years ago, she eagled 14 on me as well. So I was getting a little bit of flashbacks to that. And thankfully I was on the other side of it this year.
How much does a win like that take out of you with a view to this week? Because you don't really get much time to reflect. And a bit of a whirlwind today, and then you're straight back in. Like it's a big week you're facing into.
Yeah, I think our energy conservation will be a massive thing this week. Just managing what we do and how we prepare and how we practice. I think the nice thing is that my game's in good shape, so don't need to be on the range beating balls for hours on end. Shane's out this week, which is quite nice for a few days. It's the first major he's been at in a while, so nice to have here an extra set of eyes to prep with Dermot. And Dermot's been here for a couple of majors before, which is nice as well. So an extra bit of knowledge is always nice going into these big events.
You got a good look at Baltusrol yourself last week. I seen you described it as beastie.
It's a major venue. It's big golf course, thick rough. Haven't seen the golf course yet today, but I'm imagining they're going to be firm and fast, the greens, and it's going to be a good test either way. And I think that's exactly how you want a major to be. I think you're going to have to pick your spots, take your chance where you get them, and then some holes you just know par is going to be a good score.
The majors that you have played in, you've performed extremely well over the last year as well. Can you compare this to any other test of what you're going to face this week at Baltusrol to what you faced before, golf course wise?
I think it's going to be similar to KPMG's in the past few years. Hazeltine, Aronimig, Atlanta Athletic Club. I think they all have a similar feel to it. And I think now that we're going to these bigger venues that the lads have traditionally played as well. I think you generally, the general theme is you just have to play really well. You have to drive it well. You have to pick your spots into the greens, and then ultimately it will come down to who holds the putts at the right time. So I think that's just really the general theme across all of these. So just try and bring that momentum in from last week.
I know you said energy conservation is going to be such a big key to you this week, but what are the keys for you outside of that, coming off the back of a win that, there's highs and there's lows throughout a week like that, but what are the keys for you moving into this week?
Yeah, I think more patience. I suppose it's a cliche at this point, but just sort of letting things happen, not try and force the issue, not try and chase it this week, trying to just Dermot will put together a game plan from the start of the week and just stick to that. And I would imagine it'll be a lot of trying to hit a lot of fairways, a lot of greens, and just try and hold as many putts as we can.
And you've already mentioned at the start of this, you're obviously looking forward to getting home. I'm not running ahead of myself, but what is the plan when you get home? Have you, I'm sure you have plans put in place for what you're going to do when you get back. Have you got a chance to talk about that when you were chatting to the family last night? Or?
No, I mean, I'm not going to be home for a few weeks. Lisa's coming out next week, so that'll be nice to catch up with her. And then we've got the US Open in Pebble, which should be great, and then go to London for the Aramco event, and then I'll get home. So this is probably the longest stint away I've done in probably all year. So it'd be nice to get home and sleep in my own bed and all the rest for a few nights before we head to Evian.
To have your game so sharp as well, facing into such a large amount of really big events coming up over the next month, it must put you mentally in a really good place entering this stretch of golf.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose the goal this year was to try and peak around the majors with them all being so tightly packed into the schedule. But like with Anthony, things don't always go according to plan. You can plan and prepare as best you can, but ultimately it's sport at the end of the day. So I feel like we've prepared as well as we can. We've given ourselves the best chance, and ultimately all we can do come Thursday is go out and give it our best shot.
Leona Maguire, 2-time LPGA Tour champion. Thanks a million for joining us. Cheers for your time as always.
Thanks, Pete.
As always, she doesn't give very much away.
No, never. But listen, that's probably a good thing. We're going to talk about McIlroy soon. Like, there's a man who gives too much away. Yeah. Like, maybe if he just had Leona Maguire's approach to the media, he'd just be able to completely focus on his golf and not worry about anything else. And putt and stroke and probably wedge play and a few other things. But
no, we're going there.
Listen, we're not going there yet. We're sticking on.
We're sticking here.
We're still at the wedding. We're still at the wedding.
Yeah, stay at the wedding. Absolutely, yeah.
There hasn't been a row yet. The dodgy uncle hasn't come up onto the dance floor just yet.
Not even close. Still money behind the bar. Tabs going strong. All's well. I think it's unreal. I actually was looking up because obviously a nice paycheck again, 375 grand. Brings her career earnings. So 19 career top 10 she's had now in the LPGA Tour, 2 wins. Brings her career earnings to $3,593,000. So about 7 grand less than Wyndham Clark won last night.
For her career,
which I thought put into perspective a bit. Yeah, how good the lads have it. Like,
yeah, that is crazy,
isn't it? It's mad. Like,
that is
pretty
mad.
much on par. So yeah, I thought that was a good one. But yeah, I think the biggest loser in the whole thing was Leona's tracker on Twitter.
That's still going on. That rift is still. Is she still blocked?
Yeah, still blocked. And there's a lot of people calling for an unblocking now, just like a redemption day for the tracker. But eventing, I think this has just proved that Leona was right to cut the tracker loose.
Yeah,
like, you have to make tough decisions to go up the ladder in life. And
McIlroy did it back in 2014.
I think the Rory tracker needs to beware. I think every tracker needs to beware. I don't think Wyndham Clark had a tracker.
That's why he won.
He does now.
Rory fans as well can do one as too, lads. He's too carried away over the whole weekend.
100%.
Is Leona 1 for 1 now since blocking the tracker?
1 for 1, yeah.
The poor tracker, like, tweeting through gritted teeth. I saw, like, the tracker tweeted, win number 2 just as sweet as number 1. I was like,
it's a tumbleweed.
Yeah, absolutely not. It was bittersweet, you poor devil.
Right.
Stephanie Meadow was 13th as well. It's worth mentioning.
You say that. Yeah, exactly. He's trying to prolong the inevitable. Right, let's go now to the film. I was actually reading stuff this morning, like, we're talking about like funeral processions and stuff like that, and like Rory going to the scorers hut. I don't know who it was on PGA Tour website. Someone wrote a piece saying like, and he was entering the scorers hut, and behind him was Harry Diamond and John O'Flaherty. It was like a funeral. The two lads going behind him, like a procession going in. Where do we say? You have to start by saying, right, we'll get the good out here. US Open, Wyndham Clark. You have to tap him on the back. You have to say, unbelievably good stuff. Played well. We picked the bones of whatever, but over 72 holes, got the job done. Had a bit of a wobble at the end, but had enough wiggle room to have that wobble and still do what he did.
I'll leave the floor to Ronan there. He never had any doubt.
Yeah, well, I did put, and I'll let you jump in there. I did put on our WhatsApp, on a few WhatsApps yesterday, at like when I was driving home, Wyndham Clark scares the absolute shit out of me tonight. Before we look at this. But I did think he would have a bigger wobble than he did. But yeah, just didn't happen. Right, Ronan, the biggest Wyndham Clark fanboy in all of our groups over the weekend.
Him and Yannick Paul are my two boys. But no, to actually build on Peter's point there, like you're looking through the leaderboard, I suppose through McIlroy prism, I suppose, and your Ricky Fowler and Xander Schauffele wouldn't win an argument, so they were already gone. And you're thinking, if you can beat Scheffler, you have a great chance. But then you kind of look at Wyndham Clark. He had the best back nine of everybody that week. He showed no real kind of flaws through 54 holes, and he looked like he was going to stand the test of time, and he did. And I know he had the wobble on 15 and 16, but like he did respond really, really well on 17 and 18 to have those two pairs, like two great two putts from the side of the green and then the front of the green on 18. But no, he's a golf swing to die for, and a putting grip that would make you want to die.
It's and not, a caddy that I want to kill.
It's not a great. His putting grip isn't a great look, but boy does he make it work. And in fairness to him, his short game over the 4 days was sensational.
Yeah,
like some of the chips and pitches that he hit, some of the escapes. I know obviously you earn your luck at times, but some of his up and downs were sensational. Like even the bogey on the 8th, the up and down for par on 9, the par on 11, they're all huge ones. Like. It was the quality of golf on the Sunday wasn't great, I didn't think, but like Clark played one of the winning shots, the second shot into 14. Like no one else on Sunday played a shot like that. No one else played a shot there going, oh wow, yeah, he has a chance here. And that was the winning shot, I think, and it was the real turning point. The 2 par 5s were the turning point. And I thought he was a deserving winner. Like he played the golf, McIlroy didn't, and McIlroy got what he deserved.
Oh my God. I've just been quiet there now. I've just been quiet for the last 5 minutes.
Stop! I'm ready to bark. I know.
It's hard to dissect that last 2-minute segment there by Ronan.
They shot the exact same score. They shot the exact same score.
Yeah, but there was a difference though. There was a difference.
There was, yeah.
Same.
He's no slouch. Like he won Wells Fargo. I know we all gave out about that tournament, and rightly so. But like he's 32nd in the world. Like if you were,
I'm taking nothing away from Wyndham.
If this was Seamus Power, you'd be saying, oh yeah, he's the top 50 player in the world. No, he's up there in the big time. Like I know he's a relative nobody in respect to everybody else who was on the leaderboard, but like the career he could have now is unreal. Like he'd play Ryder Cup this year, and the doors that he's got after open now is huge. And from 160 in the world to I think he's 12th or 13th now. Like it's a serious rise.
Yeah, the rankings are obsolete.
The rankings are off the charts. Yeah.
I know the live lads are getting their points.
Yeah, they are getting their points in. I seen someone tweeted Wyndham Clark is Rory McIlroy with Michael Block short game.
Yeah,
like I don't know where to start with all this. Right,
his short game did win him. I agree with you. Whatever about his golf swing, a lot of people were talking about his power and all, but I thought his short game was unbelievable. That chip on the side of 11, where he just put all the speed through it, big flop to about 3 feet, was unreal.
Yeah.
The 8th, I thought it was going to be like a Van de Velde capitulation there at one stage, where he has the whiff, then goes in again, said to his caddy after, like he didn't even know where the second ball went. My head was spinning, couldn't see it. Just went in, had another whack. I was just thinking, man, like this could be a disaster.
I think he moved it though the first time, because when the replay kind of zoomed in after he hit the shot, the lie looked a lot better second time round than it did the first time. So he must have made some sort of contact to maybe move it.
I think he just whiffed underneath it. He just went right under the ball. That's what happens in that sort of shit that he was in, and it just literally went under the ball. And
it felt like a mad shot. I was just like, they're just taking unplayable.
Yeah, but the up and down was unbelievable.
Was unreal.
Absolutely, no.
And then the little fizzy nipper he hit halfway through the back nine, and then we're getting to the hard bit for me now. But yeah, like outside of that, we have to just have Wyndham on the back, but
he needed more pressure on him. So from the start,
he would have caved. I think he would have caved if there was more pressure.
I think so as well. I just obviously you're looking at it from start to day, and he's of the 4, he's the most unlikely, and he's probably and this will sound disrespectful, but he's the worst result for golf that you're gonna have. Like Ricky's a story, Rory's a story, Scheffler winning more majors is a story.
Everyone on site, they were all like McIlroy heads. I know
all
there was
6 of them.
Well, 6. We'll get into that again, but it's
the fact that he's gone, like he's bogey 15, bogey 16, pull the arse off it on 17, great up and down, 18, fucking absolutely explodes it right. Any other golf course, he's going to be punished.
It's the only fault I will have with this golf course is that some of those holes were just too wide,
and the atmosphere was poor.
Yeah, but that's because there's no one there. There was no one there. I've seen Barton Cup matches.
The only time they roared was for a missed screen from McIlroy on 17.
I've seen, honestly, away from that last group, like when you look at like second, third, fourth last groups, I've seen Barton Cup matches with more people following them.
Like there's no doubt there's
no atmosphere.
Not the lack of crowd, but I suppose the sparsity of it helped Clark, because let's be honest, the traditional US Open Sunday, you're there at the final group, final 2 groups, whatever it is, like you're going down the close stretch, you're getting heckled. Yeah. You're getting some stick thrown at you, and that just didn't happen.
He used a bit of that. He said, like, any time they shouted for Rory or shouted for Ricky or whatever, he just used that as motivation. Like, one day you're going to be shouting for me. I'm the underdog here. Like, you're not giving me the respect I deserve or whatever. And
you're a bum, Rock. You're a bum.
Did that about 100 times a day. Like, he deserves loads. I wasn't actually rooting against him at all, to be fair. Like, his story's pretty... Where are you? If it was Scheffler, I would have had a totally different opinion.
I thought it was very hard not to root for him.
No,
I thought he the emotion he showed during his shots, the sit and the goal.
Well, that's when I was saying this lad is ready to
edge.
Edge. Like he was ready to combust at one stage when that's when I was saying about like this man, he will explode with a bit of, but no one put it on. It must have been so easy for him. Like Ricky was falling apart before his eyes. Like he totally took the pressure off him, I think, from the start. and we can get into him a bit later as well. But no, I think like the sort like his mom dying and stuff, and the whole play big thing, and the emotion he showed in the 18 green and all, like that's all really nice to see, because you don't always get that. So from that point of view, that was great. I thought his sister coming on and hugging him and saying, "That's so much money." Yeah, the first thing I was like, Jesus.
What about the FedEx Cup points?
Yeah, exactly.
The FedEx Cup points are important.
3.6 million though is more than Leona's earned in her career, so the sister's right, I suppose.
Right, lads. We've put it off long enough. Rory McIlroy. I want your take on it first, because I'm devastated.
John can go first. I've said my piece about Wyndham.
I am devastated. I can't believe he didn't win that tournament.
Yeah,
that's probably the first of because I don't think he did much wrong, and I'd look at that like I'm just left with so many questions. I can only imagine what he feels like. Like what can Rory McIlroy do that's different? Does he need to change anything? And what can he do that's different? I don't mean in the overall thing. I mean in that round yesterday. What more does he need to do?
Well, like clearly he needs to
hold a putt or two.
Putt better, yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's what it's come down to, really. He lost 2 strokes putting.
But it's like it's the US Open, you know, sort of way. And I've been to US Opens and seen how tough and how mental those greens get. And they went borderline dead near on that back nine. Like, and Rory was not, like, he was hitting greens. He hit more greens than anyone else in the final round.
He played a brilliant round of golf
for a US Open, and people were saying, this, and it did feel like St Andrews all over again, and it felt that way as in how the tournament was panning out. But Rory McIlroy played like so much better yesterday than he did in the final round of St Andrews last year, because it was the ultimate test yesterday.
I think that difference with St Andrews was there was a score on the back nine. Like Cam Smith could go and get it, and Rory needed to be more aggressive with St Andrews yesterday. Like 10 under, which was the score he was on for most of the day, would have been enough to get him a playoff in the end. So it was a different kind of strategy, I guess, taking it to the course. Like he had 34 putts yesterday. That was the second worst in the field in the day. The longest putt he made was 7 feet. So like he doesn't have to change much, obviously, but like,
just hold one. That's it. Like, and you look at like the 80 to 4 footer, the 90 to 12 footer, 10 to 14 footer, 11 to 18 footer. Yeah, hold one of them, and he did that every other day by the last day. And
the 3, or well, it wasn't a 3 putt because he was off the green, but on 8, like that missing that short one was a killer. 9, he had a great chance to bounce back.
I wasn't worried though about. I was at that time. I wasn't worried because I was fully into. This is brilliant. Rory's sticking around. He did hold some clutch putts
for par. Yeah,
for par.
To be fair,
he kept the round going, which he fell away
from no longer than 7 feet.
Like a couple of long putts on, I think was it 1, 2, and maybe 5. Like he was desperate and lucky that one of them didn't drop either.
Yeah,
but I think overall, like you can say maybe he didn't give himself as many clear and obvious birdie chances, but the ones he did, he wasn't aggressive enough with the putter. He was kind of putting.
You can't be.
He was putting with a bit of fear though.
But everyone is. It's like putting on a glass, pint of glass.
Like some of
they just burn up.
Made him look insane.
You can't leave yourself a 2 footer back. Like it's impossible. They just keep going, and it just seemed Rory kept leaving himself those 25, 30 foot putts that we know he doesn't make enough of, but every single one of them were downhill.
The one on 10 he was unlucky on 10 not to make that putt up the hill.
Was that the one that just died?
That was the one that died. That was the one that Scheffler rammed it like 6 feet by. He was above the hole.
Yeah. I don't know. Like,
what are we saying he can do different? What?
Like, I don't think you just go like straight away. People are like, "Oh, you have to change something. You have to change Harvey."
I don't think he does.
Well, this is what I'm saying. Like, this is what people are saying. Like maybe Brad Faxon. You could question. Like, has his putting really improved under Brad Faxon? I don't know.
I think it has. Like, he putted really well for the first 3 days.
First 2, he lost shots. Second,
he wasn't great.
Third day
either. But it's just annoying and frustrating and disappointing that it was kind of the same story as St Andrews, only this time no one kind of stole in to kind of nick it off him. Like, it was there to go out and win it, and he didn't. Like, it looked like he was kind of waiting for it to fall into his lap. And like we can go on about the putting, but like some of his shots into the greens weren't aggressive enough, and at the end of the day, his weakness is his wedge play, and that's what cost him on 14.
You see,
Yeah, but
Ricky.
you have to go out and grab it. Look what Wyndham Clark did on 14. That was one shot. All you need to do is hit one shot. Even the shot into 15 was shocking.
Yeah,
That
no,
was
it was.
poor.
It was poor. Like, and that's like the the par 5, the 14th, wasn't it?
Yeah.
14th. That was the change of. But like, I've given Wyndham all the breaks of saying but my God, did everything that didn't happen for Rory McIlroy. Wyndham Clark missed an awful lot of shots on that back nine, and they just landed in the perfect spot. That is just what happens when the die was cast yesterday. Like some of the shots he hit down that stretch they should have been punished, and they would have been punished on a different golf course. And I was even texting, and I seen people writing about it this morning. Exactly, like if in any other golf course in the last decade that have held a major, if you hit those shots on the last 4 holes, you don't finish top 10.
Well, the Mito Pereira.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I'd said that before, like when we were on the 17th, I was over and back texting the brother, and I was saying that, like, Mito Pereira, like, if he could go full Mito on the last. And I just, when he carved it, and then you see it lands in the fairway, you're just going, my God.
Soft as
like,
well.
it's my God.
For that to be a US Open fairway on the 18th is a bit criminal, to be honest.
Yeah, it is. And it's the only hole I felt let the course down. Maybe 15 as well, or maybe 15 was
a great hole. 15 is a great hole.
What was the one?
15 was
the balls were all collecting in the one area.
That was the third.
Third,
they all laid up into that little area.
But like
it was a fun, quirky golf course. I
really enjoyed it as a major. I really enjoyed it. I just there was like things that were out of the tournament's control in the end that just.
I'm not even ready to get into that stuff yet. I still have about a million more things to say
no,
about
so
Rory.
do I about Rory. Yeah. Like, but what we're saying, like the 14th, 276 out, Clark is. Rory's left 130 yards into the green, and.
Well, did you see like Rory breaking that down when he was walking to his ball? He was like, "That's perfect sand wedge." Gets there, wind kicks up a small bit, so he's like, "I'll club up, play a 3/4 shot or whatever." Then he's over the ball. In 2 minds, wind is kind of still kicking up, and now he's saying that like I should have just waited for the wind to die down a bit and stuck with my original. And so he just ends up spinning one. Like that was a real mental error. Like you just stand off to stand. And in fairness, not to like call it on Harry Diamond or whatever, but like the amount of times Clark's caddy got in the way and said like stand off that ball, wait a minute, do this, do that. So sometimes to an actual point where it could have been too much. But yeah, you never see Harry do that. Obviously, it's not Harry's fault. I'm not blaming him. Chill out, everyone listening.
I was just gonna say, don't go there. Don't go there.
I know, but like you kind of like these are the small margins that people go.
That's
on
all
about.
he lost, like a shot. That's what it was, and that was a
he got such a break
right
there as well. Like in the end, like that drop was mental.
He was really, he was really kind of forcing that drop, wasn't he? On the referee, he was kind of like, "This is my last chance saloon here. I need
finger in the grass." He's like, "Look, there's muck on this." Like, he's like. Okay.
He had to get up and down there as well after that break. Like that was
but where he dropped it, that was horrendous. That was a
you could tell as well by the way he looked down. He like, I'm after butchering this.
Yeah. But no, that was a killer on the St Andrews.
If he hits that green, no matter what Wyndham Clark does, if he just hits that green with that third shot, I think he wins that tournament.
Yeah, well,
anywhere on the green.
My whole thing was that he could have won without actually making a putt. Like if he had to just parred that hole, say for example, like if he finished on 10, I don't think Clark would have finished on 10.
No, neither do I.
I think those last 2 holes he would have dropped another one. Yeah, but he just had that little.
He
buffer.
had enough wiggle room.
It's hard. It's hard to know though, because I just don't think he did enough to go and win the thing. Like 18,
absolutely did.
There's your chance on 18. Second shot, there's a chance to really grab it and do something. The second shot into 18 was atrocious. I thought.
I was disappointed with that shot. As well.
You're disappointed with it, but he's 180 yards playing into a green that's like a laminated floor. Like
I know, but Scheffler hit a lovely shot in, and from
that's what makes it even worse as well. To be fair, but no, I think it would have been a crime if Wyndham Clark hadn't won it in the end. Like, I was nearly rooting for him the last couple of holes. I was like, just win it. You deserve it.
Well, no, I definitely wasn't.
I wasn't rooting for him, but I know you were. You had our WhatsApp groups destroyed with
Wyndham
Clark.
But you can't be going around wishing ill on fellas either. Like.
Why?
Why? It's not good sportsmanship.
I thought it was pretty telling. I don't know if you saw this when McIlroy, whatever, that funeral procession you were on about to the scorer's hut, that he said to Sean, his manager, that it's St Andrews all over again. Yeah. Is what McIlroy said. But for him to say that in the moment means that that's something that was in his head.
Yeah.
Probably during the round as he was just parring away or whatever. And all that screams, I won't be the first one to say it, I'm sure, but it's scar tissue. Like, that is literally the definition of scar tissue. Like, he shouldn't have that in his head. It shouldn't be anywhere near his brain. And yet he's probably in real time thinking, holy shit, it's happening again. So I thought that was, pretty.
He did. I thought he froze in St Andrews. I don't think he froze at this. I think he did everything right. I think that score. I disagree with what you said on. I just think that score, that 9 under score that he put, that wins most US Opens. And if you were to take those fairways in tighter, in spots like they should have in 18, like they should have in a few other holes, McIlroy still isn't missing many fairways the way he drove it this week. I think he takes massive positives. I just don't know how he.
I don't even know if you believe what you're saying here.
No, I do. I really do.
You're looking into blank space.
I am looking into blank space.
It's like
it's not, like, strategy on a few holes annoyed me. Is the only, but that's like picking at straws. He's the one that knows the shots he's trying to hit. And on 6, he went for 6 every day bar 1. He only birdied it once. The day he laid back, and when the pin was on sort of back left. He went for that green every other day, and probably should have laid back when there was score gap. But, like, who are we to question? That was a really tough test.
If we don't bloody question it, Pete, we may
no,
as well
but
not
the
have
strategy
a
of it. I mean, the strategy of it.
No,
I'm just so disappointed. I really am. I thought I'd be a lot more animated in my opinions on this, but I'm just so void of emotion now. It's so bad.
I'd be the opposite. It's literally an emotional roller coaster watching McIlroy. You're probably just exhausted.
No, I am. Well, yeah. I've had 3 hours sleep since Friday. 4 hours sleep since Friday. So it's not good.
Like, it's 3:30 in the morning and he's 3 shots behind with 4 holes to play. Then all of a sudden he's won, and you're just there roaring at the television, waking up the neighbours' dog. Like,
you'd already presented him with the trophy 4 hours before that.
When
you were in our every time
it's over.
Yeah,
it's over.
Every time you wrote it was over, he'd have more majors than Jack last night. If we just to give him all those. No, it was a tough watch in the end. I couldn't go to sleep after. I couldn't settle after it. Like, after it was
just, get yourself a hot water bottle.
Yeah, I had to.
I think the biggest disappointment for me is, and Mark wrote a good article on the website about this. Is that, like, how much better chance you're gonna get? Like, it felt like the whole week felt like a perfect storm. Like, the start of the week, I would have said he had no chance for a start, or not even start of the week. Say the last few weeks, I just didn't think his game was going to be up to win the major at the minute. Then all the stuff with Live happened, or whatever, PGA Tour happens. I'm a sacrificial lamb. He kind of steps away from doing his media stuff. He just starts to get a bit more selfish. There's chat that Tiger's in his ear. He's kind of looking at Koepka win his 5th, and how he does, and not giving a shit about all the other things. And it just felt all that stuff kind of relieved him. Then on the golf course itself, like, all of his main rivals are struggling. I know they've still finished top 10, but Scheffler doesn't have his A game. Rahm doesn't have his A game. Or, like, Ricky Fowler capitulates. The only person he has to beat is Wyndham Clark. And he has to beat Wyndham Clark. Like, to beat him.
Wyndham had his tail up, though, didn't he? He didn't. He just didn't put enough pressure on him, and that's
but
where I would
like.
give,
but he had his wobble. Like, that's the thing. Like, as much and all as Wyndham Clark, like, fair play to him, and he was resilient and all the rest of it. But, like, he did wobble, and a proper champion like Rory McIlroy 10 years ago absolutely wipes the floor with him by a shot. Yeah. But, like, like, I just see it, like, Rahm in that situation, Scheffler, I think they get to another level. Rory's just, for some reason, doesn't have that level. And it's saying something that, like, I don't even think he's playing well, and he's still just contending in pretty much every major he plays. Like, he's unbelievable, but it's unbelievably frustrating as well.
Like, the Thursday was Rory's there running it back to 2011 at Congressional with the type of ball striker he's hitting. Like, some of the iron shots, that 4-iron into the, I think, was it the 7th par 3 on the first day was a sensation, 1 to 2 feet.
Yeah, but that was there on Sunday.
That's the thing. Yeah, he's hitting the 300-yard bloody 4-iron to about 15
like,
feet.
the par threes, his approaches into the par threes were unbelievable. His driving for the better part was unbelievable. Like, when he people thought he made an arse of 17, and then like, no, that's intentional play, and then he hits that thing in. Like
right from the first hole, like Scheffler really struggled down the left, and McIlroy looked like the boss. Chest
every
out,
day,
everything was good.
Yeah. Every day down one.
Scheffler will be kicking himself as well, though. As much as we're like dissecting McIlroy, Scheffler was the same. Like Scheffler put it terribly on the final day too.
Oh, so much worse.
And like for a man who
he was leaving like 5 foot 3
for a man who's put poorly all year, he's always in their top 10, top 5. Like,
nah, their level is a freak show. Like, they're just unbelievable.
Whereas like Ram, to be fair, I wouldn't say has the consistency in the majors that Scheffler and Rory have. I know he's won 2 over the last 3 years, but like
when he gets in the mix,
doesn't contend in all 4 like the other.
I'd rather have Ram's streaky if it's a streaky.
I'd rather have
when Ram gets in the mix, he just doesn't fuck about.
Yeah,
there's a guarantee with Ram when he gets in the mix.
Yeah, no, I know you're trying to put a positive spin on that, and you're probably right to, because he's going to a venue now where he's won before and he's clearly in a good place.
Can he convince himself in the next 4 weeks, 3-4 weeks, can he convince himself not to change anything, not to tinker anything, and go into this as the last major of the year with a good mentality? Like, that's the hardest
thing. Scary thing is, like, if he doesn't win this one, it's another year. Like, it just gets harder and harder and harder. I think he can, because he literally, as you're saying, like, it's a one shot. Like, that's all you're talking about. Like, of course he doesn't have to change anything, but like, can he bring himself to play aggressively on a Sunday? I still think he needs to be a bit more aggressive. I'd agree with Ron. As much as people say you just hang around to win majors.
Well, US Open is different.
Hung around a bit too much there.
Yeah, but like, that's the one criticism I've had of him in the last couple of seasons was he didn't stick around, and I thought he stuck around really well yesterday. Just that 15th. I will never forget that shot.
The easy holes he didn't take advantage of yesterday, bar the first
one. But like, if he doesn't win a high leg, the amount of like decade on post-mortem pieces about McIlroy, yes, you're going to be off the charts.
Did you see Harrington's quotes? Even I know Harrington was talking, like Brian Keogh was over there, and like they'd 5 or 6 left, and he said like he was interviewing Harrington when he came in, and they were talking about Rory, and he just said like, it's just, if he doesn't win, you're going to hang him. That's just the way. That's like that. All of you guys here, if Rory does not win this golf tournament, you're like, you're walking out to him with a noose.
Yeah.
And that is the truth.
Putting a noose on his head. I just hold Rory to the standards that he holds himself to.
Oh no, absolutely
like,
no. But
majors.
I would struggle, and like I'm struggling to see Rory take the positives out of this, because now it's a trend.
Oh, it was a trend even before.
It was a trend, but now like the last 2, like he is.
No, it's making it harder.
It's a trend now of being in the mix. Whatever about a trend of not being in contention, the trend like St Andrews in here, although they were polar opposites in how he's performed, and I thought he played really well yesterday. It's just this is now a big, and like you're saying, it's festering. He has that scar tissue from before. He's gonna have more layers on that now. Even if Rory McIlroy wins if he wins one, like he's literally the release. It's like a balloon burst. He's gonna win so many.
Oh, the floodgates will 100% open, but you're looking through the tournaments this year, and
he needs to win one dirty.
He does, and that was
if he wins by 5 or 6.
That was the one to win dirty.
Yeah, it was.
But like the opportunity when you look at the lads who aren't playing well, Justin Thomas, Jordan Speed, Morikawa, Scheffler's not putting well. We said that. Ram kind of blows hot and cold in the majors, but he's more likely to win one than Rory is. To be fair, like you just sense that maybe this year was the year, and it could still be the year. Like we have Hoyle coming up, and I do think he'll win a major. Like I know you can be downbeat about these sort of things, and you can dissect these things till the cows come home, but I think he will win one. But it's just some effort trying to wait till next April if he doesn't win.
Not a chance. He'll never win a Masters.
It's so bad. So bad. I don't even know what to say.
No, I'm not even thinking about it. I can't bring myself to go into that year.
The Masters popped into my mind last night. Right, it's going to win. We're going to win the Masters next year.
It felt like,
we have to go through 100 Sundays of this first, he said.
Yeah.
No, Rory, I have not been subjected to 100. I don't care about you.
You won't be alive for 100 Sundays.
100 more Sundays of this.
Like something out of the Bible.
It's not good. It's not good.
In one little way, I'm kind of glad that I'm not glad like at all, but if I was trying to find any consolation, I'm kind of glad it didn't happen last night at that place, because apart from the golf course being good, I actually hated so much about that whole tournament.
Here we go now.
No.
Why?
No, he's right.
No, he is right. No, you're right. You are right.
Well, listen, I just think
I love the golf course. I love the quirkiness of the golf course, but I hate the people and what happened.
And like riff-raff like you and me, Pete, wouldn't be welcome within 100 bloody kilometres of that place. And I think if I was an American, I'd be ashamed of that being my national open. Like that is not a representation of anything about the golf that I want to talk about and write about and stuff. Like that was as closed a shop as I've ever seen. Like
at a major,
it was the people that let the tournament down, not the golf course.
Absolutely. The members,
Come
the
on,
USGA, 100% get at them. Like mad stuff. Like whatever about like the logistics of the whole thing being on the West Coast for a start's a nightmare. Saturday, like what time's the golf finish on Saturday?
5 o'clock in the morning.
Like good night. Don't give a shit about us all.
Gobshites like me staying up watching it.
Oh, good night. But then the whole, like, did you see about the ticket allocation? Like 23,000 a day for sale, 14,000 of them hospitality. So of the remaining 9, the club bought half of them, like the members, but they tried to buy all of them.
Yeah,
like literally to make
and just keep them with their mates. That's it. It's
just
our private, like it's a private major.
Unbelievable, like the gall of that, like that just makes me sick.
Champions League final ticket allocation stuff that was going on there, like
that's why you have like women walking around picking up people's golf balls when they go astray because they've never been to a golf tournament in their life. Like that was unreal.
There was there was literally no. It was like a COVID major. It was like a COVID major.
Oh.
But even when the final group was up 18 and the usual, they all kind of swarm in and the rope comes in around them. Me and my brother were watching it and we were like, is that it? That's all of them, is it?
Yeah. Like a stampede, not even close. I thought all that was terrible.
It was great that the players vocalised that as well, though.
Yeah.
A lot of the players did give out stink about it. Now, I just didn't like that they were giving out stink about the atmosphere, but they were tearing the golf course like with that. But now each to their own. It was.
I was surprised. Hovland said there's only one good hole. That was a bit of a.
You do get that. You do get that at every US Open though as well. Like, there's always criticism flying around. But I'm so against the 230, 250, what have you, par threes. Like traditionally they're just green and then this massive rough round. I love them. I love the par threes this week. I just love the way you could hit the ball 40 yards left or right of the green and would camber down. Like, because for 240, I think we did 299 yard par three. Like you're thinking, oh my god, like what is the point in this? But like you can still hit an iron and let the contours take it down the hole. Like it did save it in that regard.
They could. Some people could hit an iron. And that was madness.
The 15 was the best hole ever. Like it was at 81 yards on the Saturday, and like it wasn't even a birdie chance.
Yeah, but they tried. I just think the 15th. That course needed wind.
You just hate hole in ones.
No, I don't at all. I want like if we have an 81 yard hole or a 120 yard hole. They're designed in a certain way to test a certain skill, and I just don't think we've seen that on that particular hole this week, which is unfortunate because it's a great golf hole, serious potential, but like, the postage stamp is of a similar ilk, and that tests you in the same way, but there's wind, and there are like the postage stamp is there to wreck scorecards. Or if you're very low, and this wrecked nobody's scorecard. The 15th, it kind of it was a letdown for me. All the hype building up to it, I thought was brilliant, and I was really looking forward. Oh my god, we're going to have an 80 yard par 3. We'll stick it onto this front corner. People can't get to it. Everybody got to it. There was I think there was one double bogey for the week.
Yeah, like it was
on that hole.
It was a bit of fun.
Clark was the only player in the field to bogey yesterday. Yeah. Well, that's
93% of people hit the green or something.
That's not what it's designed to do.
I loved the 15 Percy, but I get what you're saying. Like it was a bit of fun on a golf course that wasn't overly penalising over the 4 days.
They needed to let it die more. Like they needed to stop watering it like in February.
Yeah. And
just literally that you couldn't. But I really like the idea of it, and I like what they're trying, but it just didn't work on that hole. If you're going to go that short, it doesn't need to be as quirky as that hole was set up. The postage stamp, I thought, is case in point at 90 yards, 100 yards.
I have a question for the pair of ye.
Hey.
And it could be an interesting. It probably will rattle a few people. But if it was any other Irishman other than Rory McIlroy, would like the whole of golf Twitter and everyone be staying up till 4 o'clock? Even people that don't like golf are watching because of Rory. Would that happen with like a Shane Lowry or a Seamus Power or even a Harrington? Harrington's probably more likely to
As in
people
Irish
saying,
golf Twitter or Twitter.
golf Twitter overall, but particularly Irish people who aren't in the golf beat like we were tweeting all night last night.
No, like honestly, if you're being honest about that and you take yourselves out of our room and what we do, if Shane Lowry is going down that stretch, or if Seamus Power, like anyone outside of this room, anyone outside of Ireland is looking at going like, who is this? Like, why is he winning a major? He's not meant to win a major.
Yeah, I just asked that because I thought it was interesting. McIlroy said during the week that no one wants him to win a major more than he does. That couldn't be further from the truth.
Yeah.
The whole world wanted him to win that one last night.
They did, and I remember one of the maddest experience I've ever had at a golf tournament was 2004 US Open in Shinnecock. It's my first US Open, and I was speechless looking at this golf course, literally dead. And you just can't contemplate the slopes, how the ball runs, what's going. But like atmosphere wise, was like the flip opposite of what was carved up yesterday. Crowd wise, atmosphere wise, volume of people, I'd say there was treble the crowds, quadruple the crowds every day. And same sort of thing. I'm getting into this about the crowd pulling for someone. Retief Goosen, literally his wife was up for him that day. Literally, that was it. Like everyone else, Phil Mickelson was hunting him down, and Goosen just one putt after one putt after one putt, and just killed the crowd all day. And that's what the US Open is normally about, that hero and villain and the way the US back their own and do. But like, you know, Wyndham Clark will grow into that space. But yesterday, everyone on that facility, everyone watching on telly, and you made a good point on it, John. Like, golf needs Rory McIlroy to win big again and soon. In the crossroads that we're at, from a business point of view, from a political point of view, from a saleability of the sport, from the mass likability of growing the sport, we need someone to fill the Tiger void. And Rory still is that person. He's not going to do any of the records, but he is the needle. And we need him to keep us all in jobs.
Oh, stop.
I was nearly getting emotional there. No, but you do. We do. We need Rory McIlroy to kick on more than we do. And fair play to Wyndham Clark, but I will forget. Like, Wyndham Clark, he is in the Jimmy Walker, and I'm being probably very unkind to him in saying that he is going to be a major one-hit wonder. I cannot see Wyndham Clark winning more majors. I can see him winning more tournaments.
I think it's hard to argue with that take because of the amount of good players who've only won one as well. Like, it's not about just McKeels and the Hamiltons and stuff. Like, it's just
he's better than them. He's better than them.
100% he is. But like, yeah, you think of
Ben Curtis.
Did
you put him?
I think he's better.
I'm not of that vintage, unfortunately.
He's definitely a lot more athletic.
Gary Woodland.
Yeah, like they're the lads that you probably would have thought like he could win one. I was going to say Markel, but obviously he has two now.
I just said Walker and Woodland would have gone on to win more.
Graham McDowell.
Nah, one hit wonder.
He's like Hansen, Bob.
Yeah. No, I think just talking about McIlroy there, like it just shows the esteem he's held in. That like it's unfathomable to me if I was an American to be cheering for the Irish fella.
Yeah, because he isn't. Like they look at him like their own, and they look at him like the sport and the protector of the game, and like
well, half of them do.
Yeah, well, no, more than half of them. Yeah. No, he's played with Donald. He's keeping the other half happy as well.
Oh, stop.
Yeah, I wonder actually what, like, if it was a proper US Open atmosphere, how McIlroy would have performed then. Would have gotten.
I think it would have helped him. Yeah, I think it would have helped him. I think if we had,
think it would have hindered Clark more. I definitely think the quiet, like some of those holes in the back nine, literally couldn't be accessed by fans. So that has to help.
Really bad. Like you can't have that.
Yeah, no, insane. Like I get like Augusta kind of gets away with that, but like that's as far as I'm willing to dip my toe into the realm of like that crazy elitist golf. I don't think it's a good look for golf to be going back there. And I don't know why LACC want it. Like that like annoys me more than anything. It's like, why are you trying to buy, like you don't want any fans at your tournament. You're trying to buy up all the tickets. Then don't fucking host the tournament.
Yeah.
Like it's mental.
It's somewhere I'd like to play.
Of course you
It'll
would.
never
because you-
happen.
Nah, you just love
No.
sniffing teak decor, don't you?
Decor. I have many leather-bound books and mahogany furniture.
No, you're not allowed social media update from there either.
No, you
Yeah.
wouldn't be. It's just they're like, it was never on my radar before, but after seeing the golf course, I couldn't put up with the insufferability of the people that you'd probably have to play with if you did want a game of it.
Yeah.
No shorts, Peter. No shorts.
No shorts, no. But like there in Marion, it's up there with Marion for me. Like as a golf course that just looks.
I'm sure it'd be great to play, but
Old
yeah,
school
I'm
and
just,
different.
yeah,
I've been waiting for the
US.
US Open to go back to Marion for 10 years. I just thought that was the best.
It was class. But yeah, like it was crowds. Golf course loved it. Where do we go from here?
With what, life or McIlroy or what?
Where does Rory go from here? Like, is he?
Nah, Rory just keeps doing what he's doing, and hope for the best. I think. Like I'm not. You can't. Maybe at the end of the season, if it doesn't go well at Hoylake, you can actually assess. Oh, maybe I need a different coaching ticket. Or I need a different this or that. Not coaching ticket, but like maybe fax and someone else to look at my putting or change my putter. Go back to my Scotty. Do whatever. Something different. Like I agree with you. Like I felt like he's a better putter. I think he's a better player than he was when he was winning his majors.
Yeah,
Back in the day. I just think he's mentally just this totally different person. But yeah, like it's literally one shot here or there, and he gets the monkey off his back, and he could win 10.
He thinks and cares about variables now that weren't even on his head back 10 years ago.
It's not.
And that's the
It's
problem.
not swashbuckling anymore.
No.
Oh
It's
no.
edgy.
And that's one thing, yeah, even looking at his swing, the difference, like they were showing reruns of 2011 and how free flowing everything is. And how, like, but
He had that swing for 9 holes yesterday, I thought.
He did,
That's
yeah,
the
yeah.
mad thing.
But
I
then
think
he-
that's when he's thinking about. That's when the the old course comes into play, and the similarities and the scar tissue. Because he would have known. It's like, shit, this is my tournament here.
Yeah, yeah.
This leaderboard is actually falling apart.
I'm the killer here.
I've Wyndham Clark
Yeah.
to be. Yeah, exactly. Who was it that said, like, if
I'm
you
the
can't
killer.
find a killer,
You're the
the
killer.
killer.
Yeah.
But he's not. He isn't the killer.
no, he's
He
not
should
worried
be
like
the
that
killer.
anymore. And then
It's
it's the
insane.
shot selection a lot of time. What I really loved about Rory this week is he was not fighting his natural shape. Again, he's back in. He's hitting lovely, trappy little draws. He's not trying to, like, I feel, well, the only shot that stalled on him was that wedge that he tried to hit in.
Yeah.
He's trying to cut something in up there, like, because you're afraid to let it sling, bounce, run. You're just trying to keep the ball under total control. Like, his off the tee all week, he was just flawless.
Yeah, no, he drove the ball.
He was flawless, and that fed into every facet of his game from there.
Like the drive in 14 actually was probably a bigger mistake than the wedge. That was the one fair you had to hit.
You had
and
to
he
hit,
didn't.
Yeah, it's kind. Yeah, it's mad. Like not mentioning like Shane Lowry had a top 20, and he come away and say I had a good week. But yeah,
Harrington will come away delighted.
yeah, no, he had some
Yeah.
great highlights. Harrington, in fairness,
It's just been a week of like procession for like men's Irish sport. To be honest, the last 4 or 5 days.
By the football team.
Oh God.
But yeah, no, I don't really have anything else on it. Like, kind of looking at the leaderboard, it's not it wasn't.
We didn't mention Ricky at all. That was the thing.
There's
like
nothing to
Ricky,
say.
there's nothing to say. He's
Same
dead.
old classic Ricky Feller is always a 74 in him. That's the end of it.
Yeah.
75. Yeah. Listen, yeah,
I felt sorry for Ricky. I actually was rooting for Ricky a little bit yesterday.
There was kind of
to see him.
let the ground swallow me whole vibes going through there for a few holes. It was just calamitous. Like,
He must
just
be-
the occasion got to him.
Must be paid some money to carry that bottle around.
I know, yeah.
Like,
Him and Schofele in the final group of major would be some viewing.
I'm delighted this Schofele just continues to prove everything I've ever thought of him right. He is.
who dressed him yesterday? That's like kept on. He's like dressed like a tree frog.
He's got such a sour looking face as well,
Yeah.
like, doesn't he? Like, he just, his whole demeanor doesn't strike you as someone who has the stomach for the fight.
Himself can't lay. There's so many of these lads, and every like preview you see they're like the most tipped lads to win the thing, and I'm just like, how are these lads getting tipped? It's insane to me. But yeah, that's it. Well, don't worry, Pete. Like, it could happen. One thing I can guarantee is whenever Rory McIlroy wins a major, I won't have backed him. Like, I'm kind of just accepting that If it happens, like that'd be one of the best days of my sporting life to watch it. But I just can't.
The release of
predict
Rory
it.
McIlroy winning a major will be up there with Tiger Woods winning the Masters in 2019 when it happens.
Yeah,
When it happens, not
like
if.
it shouldn't
When.
be like
It
at
shouldn't
that
be
level,
like that
but
at
yeah,
his
yeah,
age,
yeah.
but that's what it will feel like. Like it will be epic, and you hope then, like Tiger physically wasn't able to kick on from that Rory just goes on and does special things. But yeah,
He was different yesterday. Like there was no tears. It was like,
No.
I'm just gonna keep coming back and keep trying. Like he was fairly defiant, as much and all as he must be sickened. But like it felt a bit differently. Like it, in fairness, yeah, well done, Wyndham Clark. Like McIlroy kind of only has himself to blame, really. But like that's not a bad thing. Like you can learn from that.
We've definitely
Right,
reached a
we've
lull
done
here.
this to
We need
death.
move
Yeah,
on.
yeah, no, wait, more positive things. Where are we going after US
The
Open?
women's Beck Coulter, quarter finalist. I found this really disappointing. I really thought she was going to win the thing. I really thought it was going to be her versus Ingrid Lindblad in the final, which I thought would have been sensational and great viewing on Sky Sports. Like it was all build up for that. Someone actually I can't remember who it was. Raised the point. I think it was on the commentary actually of the semi-final yesterday. I watched a few minutes of it. Like Coulter blitzed the field in qualifying, won it by I think it was 3 shots, and your reward is you could go out the next day.
Yeah.
Like someone raised the point that maybe you should get a bye to maybe the last 16 stage or something like that, last 32. At least give yourself a platform, an advantage in the knockout stages, because like it was just a shame that she lost. Like, she was really, really playing well. And like if it was a 72-hole stroke play, maybe we're sitting here talking about a completely different thing. But that's just the game though, isn't it? Like it's the same with Quentin Carew. He won the Irish Close last year, 64th, like in qualifying. Like I know it's good to happen, but I suppose I was just disappointed for Beth because I really did think she had a great chance.
Yeah. No, it was a great performance. It was. And she keeps coming back. She's a little assassin as well. Like she is. It was all, like literally all the women this week are the ones that we're talking about between her and I know we'll get into Olivia as well.
But it was a great week for the Irish overall. Like Anya Donegan was 6th in qualifying, and Sarah Byrne as well put a good final round in qualifying to get through to the match play stages. Obviously they went out a bit earlier than Beth, but it was good to see three Irish in the knockout stages. I thought that was a really good showing.
Yeah.
Beth finished really well, like with Arizona. Like she's kind of come into her own as the years gone on. So I'd say she'll win big over the summer at some stage.
Yeah, definitely she will. I'd say like she'd be heavy favourite to win the Irish Close this week, to be fair.
And Pancake got flattened in the final.
Yeah, plenty of puns can be made with this one. 7-6 defeat is not what you want. Like it's, you don't really like to see that either. Like to be honest, you want a good a tight contestant final, but yeah, like and they were well down the qualifying list as well. To be fair, like it just shows what can happen. But no, it was a great week, and I suppose it's an upset that Lindblad didn't win it.
Yeah.
Like we can harp on about Coulter, but Lindblad has been absolutely sensational form. Was battering her way through the matches. Like I think she won 8-6, 6-4. Like and to go out in the semi final was obviously a shock to the system for her. But no, it was a really, really good championship. To be fair, the standard of golf was sensational.
Lots of positives. Olivia Mahaffey.
What a woman.
What a woman. She is back. She's announced herself back again. This is great to see.
And like you wouldn't put too much like hardship on her for the final round. She has been in that position for ages. Like it's just the fact that she's back playing good golf again, which is great to see.
She will learn so much, and her interviews all week were class.
Listen,
she was very good.
We almost got the magazine bump, the cover star. It never happens.
Yeah.
It's probably our fault that it didn't happen for her over the weekend. But the fact that she shot a 64 in the opening round. In that article in the women's supplement, all she's talking about is like the green shoots she's seen and stuff, and that it wasn't quite translating from practice into play. Clearly it did in this tournament. Hopefully, she just gets a few more starts so she can build on it. Like that's a really good week. The one who won the tournament, I don't know if you saw that, Kristina Napoliova. Did you see this story? She took up golf in June 2016. Had never touched a golf club before then.
All you ladies listen, get into golf program.
Get into golf and do it quick. Mad. She was a footballer. Never touched the club. June 2016. Like, could you imagine now she's winning on the LET? Like, that is an insane story.
That is mental.
But
It's like Katie Taylor with the boxing.
yeah.
Like Irish international footballer there. We'll box the head off a few of these.
Herself and Anya Donegan could be going to Australia this summer if the world was different.
Yeah.
Anya Donegan played underage football for Ireland internationally as well.
It's gas, isn't it?
She get a game on the men's team.
She should talk out tonight, for God's sake.
What else we have?
Douglas, yeah, with the seniors on. Great interview by Eddie McCormick after his.
Yeah, I
match,
was
if you've seen
brilliant to see him win. Obviously, Alison Taylor as well, but like it is great to see two double Irish European champions. Like, how often do you say that in any code?
In any sport, yeah. It's happening a lot more in golf than it is in any other sport, really, isn't it?
Oh, look, the wins are just toppling every week. As you said last week, it was Alex Maguire and stuff, but it's every week it's something. But yeah, that was deadly. His interview was really nice. His dad, Teddy,
Took a fall.
Yeah, like 91, had his hip place where I, like, offered it up to him, like give him an old boost, which is lovely. And then Alison Taylor, I think she eagled the last to win, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, like that's a serious way to get the job done.
It looked like I wasn't there obviously, but it looked like an incredibly well run event, and obviously the scores reflect the standard of golf that was shown. Like the owl guys aren't bad.
These
little scuttery ones along the fairway work.
The owl boys aren't bad. God, I know it's good. It is all good. Like there's so much going on. It's really hard to take stock. And exactly, I'm still in autopilot after staying up for so late. But like, there's so much stuff to get through. All week.
Championship is well underway at this stage. A couple of great scores from the Irish so far in qualifying. Obviously, it's 36 holes qualifying at Hillside and then Southport and Ainsdale. So you play one on each day, and then the top 64 go through the match play. Paul Conroy of Enniscorthy is 4 under after 68, so he's 8th at the moment. And eye-catchingly, Peter O'Keefe shot a 69 today. He briefly had the lead on 4 under for a late bogey. This is a guy who's starting to trend in the right direction again. I know
right at the right time.
Yeah, like I know he missed the cut at the St Andrews Links Trophy, having held the first round lead, but like that was another good score he shot today, and he shot a good score obviously in the first round. St Andrews Links finished well at the East, and yeah, things are starting to come together. It's just about putting 4 rounds now and having a deep run this tournament. He was a quarterfinalist last year, so you know when you return to a tournament where you've had good showings before, it can kick you on.
Alex Maguire, semi-finalist last year as well. He's
exactly. Mark Power and Keelan Rafferty about 2 under there in the clubhouse. Jack Murphy at Douglas 2 under 212, was 3 under 29, and Luke O'Neill at Connemara is 2 under 26. Rob Brazel finished 1 under after 16 pars, an eagle and a bogey, which is quite a remarkable round. They're ones that you remember. Thomas Higgins, good show on the Sanders Links, 1 under 215. Max Kennedy's 1 under 29, and then a couple of lads are just getting their rounds underway. Richard Knightley's out in the course. Ryan Griffin, Mark Boucher is just about to finish. I'm just scrolling down here. I haven't seen Alex Maguire's name now that you mention him. Just going to keep scrolling here. This is not good. 2 over 74. So he's a bit of work to do. Tied 177th at the moment. Okay. As is Sean Keeling.
Cut his mic over there.
Yeah, stop. No, is there anything else on Roundup we need to look at, lads? This is turning now into a snore fest at the end. We're just like...
No, you're the one snoring.
I know.
I still have gusto here. I'm just off a week's holidays. Missed all this. I've nothing to round up. Heroes and villains. Let's get at them.
Heroes and villains. Right, hero. Who's your hero?
It's a tough one.
You can't say Rory. Like Leona, obviously.
Exactly.
We got through. We were in such depression there. We forgot about Leona.
No.
Leona, 100%.
Leona was top of my list.
Leona, 100%.
Yeah.
Eddie McCormick and Alison Taylor.
Yeah, no, you have to give it to the winners. Michael Block was at LACC making young boys cry. I thought that was quite heroic of him. JT and Max Homa, Justin Thomas, that is, having a glass of rosé, hopping on Instagram live, half pissed. Really, golf legends there, such heroes.
But no, go easy on the boys now. They're buying Leeds United.
Yeah, shame it wasn't the state-run club. But yeah, no.
That's gas. No, well, so villains then.
Well, how long do we have?
Go on.
Cliffs and Moore charging €12 a head.
Anyone that hasn't seen that, look at Ace Craven on Twitter. At Ace Craven on Twitter. He was on his holidays last week. You tell the story, actually. What happened?
On my holidays, drive up, unassuming, to see one of the great sights of Ireland, the Cliffs of Moher. Get to the car park. Man says €12. I said, grand. give him €12. He said, no, €12 per head. So €60 for the car. We are after carpooling there for the good of the planet. He said, we of course fought our corner. He said, if you don't like it, just turn around and go home. And that's what we did, Pete. We turned around and we drove about 5 minutes up the road and saw the cliffs. But still, yeah, unbelievable. This country gone rack and ruin. So yeah, just
it literally went viral on Twitter.
I've been tweeting my golf takes for the best part of 6 years now, and yeah, that's the one that went viral. Live line on. Joe Duffy wanted to chat. I wasn't going to do that on my holidays.
Yeah, but coastal erosion and all that, you'd protect these coastal venues, you know.
They don't even do that. That's the amount of comments like that. You can't expect it to survive in fresh air alone. It's like it's a cliff. That's exactly what I'll do.
It's been there for a long time.
Yeah. Oh, unreal.
How have we got it? Right, villains, lads, villains.
I have so many lists, but I just like Sam Bennett. He needs to be put down, I think, before his career starts. He regrips the club 10 times before he pulls the trigger. If that's what we're teaching kids how to play golf, good luck.
The standards that man sets himself. Like, middle of the fairway, middle of the green, letting go of the club. Like,
he kills me. No, LACC is my villain by far. I think their course is lovely, and I know a lot of people say their course, their rules, but their rule list, people should go on their website. Like, there are pages upon pages of rules and regulation with this club. Don't want it's the typical, like, wear a sports jacket after 6 o'clock shy. No phone calls except if you're in the booth. No cash except to pay the caddies, but you're not allowed to tip the caddies. Not allowed to tip anyone. Guests can't pay for shit. So, like, the member has to put it all in their account. Don't wear your headphones, no earbuds, no references to LACC on social media. I don't like those kind of places. Just like kill me. They're everything that's wrong with golf. No way Tyrrell Hatton wears a hoodie and plays around the golf there. But I didn't actually notice, but it was too warm, so I doubt he was wearing a hoodie. But yeah, LACC.
Ronan? And I'll actually agree with most of what you said there.
Like, that's just, like, they haven't hosted a tournament in, I don't know what it was, 70, 80 years. Like, and those rules are still in a bygone era of 70, 80 years ago. Like, it's poor to see. But my villain, I don't know how many people saw the Stephen or heard about the Stephen Kenny press conference, but my villain is the person who asked him the question. I'm not going to name him because I have a good relationship with him. That's my villain for the week.
Well, who could it possibly be?
It's a golf podcast.
No, we're going to close the cliffs. We're going to shut down the FAI press conference.
Lads, we need to stay in our lane here. We need to stay in our lane.
Who's your villain? Do you have one? LACC?
No, yeah, I'd agree with you. Just on the USGA for allowing that to happen. Shouldn't be allowed to happen in a major. It's just a bit mad, you know.
Mike Wand's whatever ceremonial speech was cringy.
I thought they covered a lot. They covered a lot. It was an hour and a bit long.
We asked you to come in. You came out. No, they didn't.
So no, it was a bit. It was their pre-tournament conference. They got into quite a lot about ball and rollback. He wouldn't call it a rollback. He was going into all sorts of stuff about bifurcation and all that. So yeah, no, it was good. Right, I think that's a wrap for this week, lads, isn't it?
Yeah, that's enough. I think we're back. Major week again. KPMG this week. Leona.
Imagine she goes back to back.
Oh, it'd be insane.
It would.
Like, you wouldn't put it past her, but it takes a serious player to be able to do that.
Yeah. Right. Well, cheers for tuning in. Sorry if it was a bit of a snore fest from me there for half of that. I was struggling through, sleep deprived in mourning for Rory McIlroy, but
you look like what's his name, Kendall Roy at the end of Succession, just staring out into the water.
No spoilers. Jesus.
Oh God.
Wrap it up.
Right, go on. Thanks. Talk to you next week. Bye bye.